Hey tankers, this is Stalker13R coming at you with another episode and a little bit of new intro footage. Oh, it's a little stuck. And it's a ram kill. You know how I like to ram vehicles. Doesn't matter what they are. In this next little shot, we're going to take a look at a guy that angles his armor in a unique way. So he's coming down. Even though he's got the angle, I penetrate his armor there. But now he's going to pull the special armor angling maneuver here. And he's going to bounce the shot. That's skill. That's skill. But I got a buddy behind me here, and I'm backing up into his line of fire. So I realize that when I see the shot comes over, and I go back to going forward. In a tank, not only do you not want to be behind another player, but you don't want to be in front of them, because then they can't help you by shooting. So that's our tip for the day. Now, we've done the Situation Dictates video before on this map, and we had too many people in the valley and not enough people in the city. Well, today is going to be the opposite of that, and the other opposite of today's video will be that we're going to have to fall back to base. Because we always talk about when you win your flank, or you get to that halfway point in the map and you've won your engagement area, you need to pull up that mini-map and see if you need to fall back to base. And today we're going to need to do that. Now, the other thing I like to do is show unconventional strategies. Now, light tanks going up this river road to spot is a usual occurrence. And one of the things that happens quite often is they don't last long enough. You know, they die early. Well, I've got a pretty good view range, and I've got the binoculars loaded up here on the 131P. Or Tiger 131, and we're going to go ahead and push up this center road, and we're going to eliminate the enemies good enough before they get to the city, so it'll make that city fight a lot easier. So I had a couple of shots, so I went ahead and took them. I'm not trying to get to a particular engagement. Now, if I was going over to the city, I wouldn't have stopped to fire. I'd have continued driving. Now you can see over there in the city, as it really should be, high turret rotation speed and maneuverability is going to be in that city. You know, a lot of people in those heavy tanks want to get in there with a really slow turret, and they end up getting swarmed. So that's one of the reasons I don't like to get into that area, unless I have to. Now I can see this T1 heavy is taking a little bit of heat, so I'm going to go ahead and move my health point pool and my slightly better armor into position and just let him take shots over my shoulder. So I'm not trying to block him, and now it's time to move up because they're going off the spot, because they're getting into that position where they're stationary. So I'm going to use my health point pool to go ahead and take that shot and allow this T1 heavy to get up here with me without losing a lot of his health points. At least that's the idea. So it's not that I'm trying to block him out or hog the damage. And here I know we've got somebody back there. They're not on the spot. I'm going to go ahead and risk taking one more shot to try to get him back and going. But I just can't seem to get him. There he comes up. Unfortunately, that T1 heavy goes down. But I'm still here. I'm still spotting, and we've still got the pressure on. Now over in the valley, there's a heavy tank way forward of a traditional tank destroyer. And unfortunately, they're not working well together as a team, and that's what we're about here on the channel. People get into their heavy tank and they think, I'm going to the valley and I'm going to push. Well, if you're supported by a traditional TD that's trying to snipe because they probably don't have a lot of armor, and they can't get up into that brawl, especially with an artillery in the game, your job as that heavy tank is to present a threat to the enemy and then fade back and pull them into a position where that TD can fire. And you can see that TD is telling him, fall back, pull him into my gun. But the heavy tank is still trying to push, and undoubtedly is frustrated that no one's pushing with him. So again, just because you're in the heavy tank doesn't mean it's your job to push. You're on a team game, and you have to work to benefit the strengths of your other team members. So I saw that the guys on the far side of town we're going to go ahead and push on to cap. I'm calling to fall back to base, and I'm talking to this other heavy tank, and I'm getting the affirmative symbol there. So that's effective communication. We're not doing a bunch of pinging, we're not panicking. It's just, hey, let's go back to the base, and this heavy tank's letting me know, yeah, I'm on the way. Now you can see that heavy tank didn't get fully involved in the city either. If you get to the far side of the city and then realize you have to fall back to base, well, it's going to take you forever to do it, and then they're going to be already up here on the high ground, and you're going to have to charge across that open field to get here. So neither one of us wanted to fully commit to going all the way across the map until we knew we wouldn't have to fall back to base. And since we did that, now our team's going to be here, and we're going to get online, and we're going to work these targets together as a team. So here this enemy teammate, you see he said, he went out a lot farther than he needed to, knowing he was going to take the shot. But he wanted to get a look around that corner and ensure if he's going to take a shot, he's going to give a shot. And, I'm going to say, that's often worth the risk. That's often worth the trade. But now we're going to get in an echelon line here, and we're going to make these guys take 3 shots for 1. There, I take mine, and he takes his. So now there's 1 shot from our team. Unfortunately, it missed. I've got a shot from our team. I didn't miss, and you can see that other shot from our team did miss, but we still got 3 shots for 1. And now we're going to move up on this KV2, and we're going to do the same thing. Now those 2 TDs on the enemy team had come up here with them, but realized that there was no one back at the base, and they needed to fall back to base. And the vehicles that we sent back there are going to do a good job of softening them up, so that if we get the chance to get up there, at least they'll be worked down quite a bit. So now the TD's gone around to flank. It's me and the heavy tank. Unfortunately, even in the trade, eventually there's a casualty. I'm going to just poke over just enough because I know his turret's so tall that I can get a shot at just the top of his turret, and he won't be able to see me. So our heavy tank's still with us right now, but he exposed a little too far. You really got to watch this gun, but I know he's on the reload, and I'm going to take him out. Now I'm going to call to this TD because it's late in the game, and I don't want him to just go YOLO through this gap, so I'm going to give a, defend the base over the radial. He's been playing pretty conservative throughout the game and going well, but I just want to make sure that, we're not going to go in too deep and have them get to our cap before we know that we're ready to do this. So now, right now is a point in the game where it would be a great idea to load up the premium rounds, risking a bounce. At this stage of the game, I'm on low health. We're 2 versus 2. We're at the end of the game. And I really should have loaded them up. In this case, I didn't. And I'm going to go ahead and get 1 through on that guy. My partner's going to bounce on this guy. And he gets 1 through, and I bounce. So, had either of those shots that we bounced off him gone through, we would have cleaned it up. But it gave him a chance to get more damage on us. So loading those premium rounds at the end of the game, that's a good strategy. So you can see nothing special again. I just wanted to show you that had to fall back to base so you could see what that looks like. Show you an example of if you're working in partnership with a TD that's trying to snipe, well, don't push. Pull. Present a threat and then fall back and make them come to you. And with different vehicle speeds, they'll end up showing up one at a time, and you'll be able to put 2 of your guns on one and then fall back, and 2 of your guns on one and fall back, and you'll be able to weather that storm a lot better. And so that would have been a better strategy for that gap instead of that one heavy tank trying to push by himself. So Tiger 131, it's a great tank. I have a lot of fun in it. The preferential matchmaking, I think, definitely makes life a better experience than the Tech Tree Tiger. Seeing tier 9s in that just wasn't where you needed to be, but tier 8s really aren't that big of a deal for Tiger 131 here. I love the gun, I love the vehicle, and you can use that health point pool because that's its strength. It's not the armor, it's the health point pool, and that's what gives this tank the staying power on the battlefield. So I've had a great time. I hope you learned a couple of things today. And we'll keep cranking out some of these videos and see if we can show you some different situations that you can look at in a new way. And thanks for watching.